Hi everybody, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to read an excerpt from my novel, North Side Story, that takes place 40 years ago on Thanksgiving. Mandy was at the door waiting for him when he got to her house. She was a bright spot in the gray day, in jeans and an oversized pumpkin orange sweater with a long string of golden beads around her neck. "Hi, honey," she said, letting him in. She put her arms around him and gave him a kiss. "Hey, beautiful," he replied. Something smells good. We're going to eat around 1:30 or so at the half of the first game. I hope that's okay." "That's fine with me." They went into the living room and sat down on the couch. The football pregame show was on. The house was warm and the windows were steamed from the food cooking in the kitchen. Shannon's stomach gave an audible growl, making Mandy laugh. "Sorry," he said. "It smells so good. What are we having?" "Let's see," Mandy said. "Turkey dressing, mashed potatoes, gravy, squash, mixed vegetables, rolls, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie. How does that grab you?" "Grabs me just fine," Shannon said. "What's going on at your house this morning?" Mandy asked him. "My mom's actually making dinner. They got a turkey from the food shelf. Leon was trying to lay a guilt trip on me for leaving, saying I was going to disappoint Mama if I didn't have dinner with him. Mandy, I looked at that turkey before I left, and it's going to be good to be able to feed the three of them." Mandy sniffed. "What's with the family togetherness trip?" "Damned if I know. I guess if I had been going to stay, Leon would be ragging on me because I didn't help buy dinner. Leon ain't happy unless he's chewing on my ass for something or another." Mandy put her hand on his thigh. "I'm glad you're here today," she told him. Shannon took her hand in his. "Me too," he said. "Where's Marcia?" "Getting ready. Michael's supposed to be here soon," Mandy said. "Oh yeah," Shannon said. "Tell me again what he's like." "He's nice. He was nice to me last summer when I worked as a file clerk at the law firm," Mandy said. "He's handsome, I guess. He definitely looks like an attorney. Marcia seems to like him a lot, or she wouldn't have invited him to dinner." As if on cue, Michael knocked on the door. Mandy got up to let him in. Michael was about 6 feet tall, with an average build, brown hair, and tortoiseshell-rimmed glasses. He was wearing khaki pants with a woven brown belt and a faded denim blue long-sleeve polo shirt. In one arm was a bottle of wine. "Happy Thanksgiving," he said as he entered. "Happy Thanksgiving," Mandy replied. "Michael, this is Shannon Douglas. Shannon, this is Michael Bayer." Shannon stood quickly to shake Michael's hand, then sat down again. Marcia came into the living room. "Hi," she said to Michael, smiling. "Hi," he replied, kissing her cheek. "I brought this to go with dinner." Marcia took the bottle and glanced at the label. "Ooh, I love this wine," she said. "Why don't you have a seat? The game will be starting soon." Michael sat down in the armchair. Mandy followed Marcia to the kitchen to continue with the dinner preparations. Shannon looked after her, wishing she would stay in the living room with him. He didn't know how to make small talk with a lawyer. The only lawyer he had ever talked to was his public defender in his robbery case, and he had spent maybe 45 minutes talking to Shannon one-on-one, basically to tell him to plead guilty, which he did. That was one topic he didn't want to bring up with Michael. Shannon was glad to have the football pregame show to watch. "Can I get you something to drink, Mike?" Marcia asked from the kitchen. "You want a beer?" "Yes, thanks," Michael said. "Shannon, you want one too?" Marcia asked. "Sure," Shannon replied. Mandy brought them their beers in brown glass bottles, along with a tray of green and black olives, celery stuffed with cream cheese, and crackers with spinach dip. "This is the life, isn't it?" Michael said to Shannon, "sitting here in the living room, watching football while two gorgeous women make us food and bring us beer." "I heard that," Marcia said from the kitchen. "Next year, Mandy and I are going to sit on our butts, and you two will make the dinner." "They'll probably make us the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving dinner," Mandy said. "Toast, popcorn, and jelly beans." No, Michael said. "I'm sure we could do better than that. I was thinking nachos and frozen pizza, right, Shannon?" Shannon snapped to attention, startled to be addressed, then said, "Turkey nachos." "Yeah, turkey nachos," Michael agreed. I can't wait," Mandy said sarcastically, going back into the kitchen. "Who are you betting on to win today?" "I'm going with Green Bay in the first game and Dallas in the second," Michael said to Shannon. "I'm not betting on anyone," Shannon said. "I don't care who wins the Packers-Lions game, but I want the Patriots to beat Dallas." "New England? You live in Texas. How can you root for the Patriots?" "I root for the Patriots," Marcia said from the kitchen. I'm an Oilers fan, Shannon said. He almost added, the Cowboys suck, but he held his tongue. The Oilers haven't given anyone much to cheer about this year, Michael said. Shannon shrugged. They're still my team. You're a true fan, Michael said, but I'm rooting for the Cowboys all the way. They got into a good-natured discussion about football, which relieved Shannon because it was a fairly harmless subject. Before long, Mandy and Marcia came in to join them to watch the game. At halftime, Green Bay was ahead 21-17 as they sat down to dinner. Shannon had never seen such a spread in his life. The huge turkey lay steaming, golden brown on a platter. There was a basket of rolls, a bowl of potatoes, a boat of gravy, dishes of vegetables, a plate of cranberry sauce, and more. Wine for everyone? Michael asked, opening the bottle. Just a little, Mandy said. She held up her can of Tab. You like the hard stuff, Michael said, teasing, pouring a small amount of wine into the glass Mandy held out to him. Having wine with dinner was a new experience for Shannon, but he didn't remark on it. Wine was unfamiliar territory for him, period. The girls in the gang liked to get a bottle of Boone's Strawberry Hill or Tickle Pink once in a while. That was about as close as he ever got to wine. He tended to drink beer or the hard stuff, and that didn't mean Tab. Let's do a toast, Michael suggested, to good food and the women who made it. They all clinked their glasses together and took a sip of wine. Shannon thought about his mother and sister as he filled his plate with food. They, along with Leon, but he didn't care about him, would be eating an overcooked turkey with canned sweet potatoes and cranberry sauce. He didn't let the feeling last long. His family didn't have an elaborate meal, but they seemed to be stocked up on cigarettes and beer, so they would be okay. He knew that may have seemed callous, but it was the truth. The meal was delicious. The food at Mandy's house was spoiling him. He always had been overweight, partly due to genetics and partly due to eating a lot of cheap junk food. Now he was eating so much good food, he thought he was going to end up weighing a ton. After dinner, Shannon and Michael retreated to the living room to resume watching the game. Shannon's stomach was fuller than he ever remembered it being. He was grateful to sink down onto the comfortable couch. Ready for pie? Mandy asked with a grin, sticking her head into the living room. No, Shannon groaned. Didn't think so, she said, and went back to the kitchen. When the kitchen was cleaned up, Mandy and Marcia returned to the living room at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The score was 21 Green Bay, 24 Detroit. The Lions are making a comeback, Shannon said. In the end, the final score was Green Bay 28, Detroit 31. Hey, Mandy suggested to Shannon, why don't we watch the next game in my room? Shannon looked at her. He knew they might not see a lot of the Cowboys' Patriots. She looked like she knew it too. Okay, he said. And that is a novel, excerpt from my novel, North Side Story. Took place 40 years ago in the book on Thanksgiving Day. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening.